Now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to double click and put a button on here. And now you'll notice these, if you remember, flow layout and grid layout, these things are in flow layout. And we'll talk about why in just a second. But I can go in and put a return and push the button down to the next line. And then I'm going to put a label, another label, next to that. Double click it and make it show up there. And I'll spread it out. Now, I can put spaces to move that label out there. And then on my label, I will go to Properties. And I will leave the label ID there, and I'm just going to take the label out. Now, this is something that's really cool. I'm in my web user control. I'm going to double click the button, and I'm going to do something really useless here. Label2.text equals. You clicked the button. Now, obviously, we know what that's going to do, right? When I click, and notice what's happened at the top here, I've added 2 more tabs. Now, if you remember, I opened up this project, and then I added a web control. Okay, and then here's the code behind page for my web control where I'm putting my functionality. Now, also notice on my web control, I also have page load, page initialization, initialize component, and also, so this thing is being treated like a separate web page. So here's my web user control. I'm going to go take a look at the HTML. Notice no head, no body, right? No title, all that stuff. Just the controls that I've dropped on there with the settings on them. Notice here's my Welcome to ASP label. And notice it's using web controls here. And so now, to actually use this thing, I'm going to go to my original Web Form 1 ASPX page. I'm going to take my web user control, left click it, drag it onto the page, and let it go. And you'll notice now there is a user control up here. If I go to HTML, you'll notice it has automatically put in this @register directive. And let's take a look at this thing. It says @register tag prefix UC1. And notice this creating basically a namespace from a tag. There's UC1. The tag name is Web User Control 1. And the source is Web User Control 1 SCX, and that has to do with compilation. We talked about that earlier in the course, if you remember that. Now, let's run this and look at it, and notice what's happened to our page. We have now added into our page this as a header. And notice these things are crowded up, so let's go back out, do some house cleaning here. I'm going to go to Design. I will grab both of these, pull them down some, and go back and execute my page. And you'll see now that I've got the user control at the top, and if I click on this button, notice this is working. You clicked the button, and notice the post back is causing this thing to happen. So I could go write some more code to take care of that if I wanted. But I have this functionality up here at the top as well. Now, real quickly, what if I had another web page in here? So let's go to Solution Explorer, right click, add another web form. This will be web form 2. So I'll open web form 2. I'll drag user control 1 onto it. And now web form 2 will have the same thing. Okay? And so if I go into my website and create a link and come over here, I would see that on both pages. So it's that easy. Every page in my project or in my application can have this same look at the top of every page. That's a user control. That's how you use them. That's how you build them. Keep in mind, you can convert pages that you already have to web controls by changing the extension, taking some the head and the body and the title and so forth out, and saving it as a web control. So these things are pretty cool. Play with these. You can add a lot of functionality and reuse code quite a bit. And that's all we're going to cover on the user controls. Kind of use this as a launch pad and go out and work with these things. There's a lot of possibilities out there.